Right now, a dangerous storm system is barreling across the Great Plains, and if you live anywhere east of the Rockies, what happens in the next 48 hours could directly impact your safety. 120 million Americans are in the potential path of severe weather this weekend, and I am about to break down every single detail you need to know, city by city, hour by hour. But here is the twist most forecasters are not telling you. There is a hidden second system, a wild card cutoff low, sneaking up from Baja California into northern Mexico, and nobody knows exactly what it is going to do. I will reveal what that means for your city at the 5-minute mark, so do not go anywhere. First, drop a comment right now with the city or state where you are watching from. I personally respond with a localized forecast for your area. That is your first reward just for being here. Now let us get into the most critical weather weekend of the year so far. Here is what is happening right now at this very moment. A powerful polar front jet stream is screaming across the country at nearly 200 knots. That is about 230 miles per hour at 30,000 feet. To put that in perspective, a Category 5 hurricane has winds of 157 miles per hour. This jet stream is moving 50% faster than that. And it is the engine driving everything you are about to hear. Down at the surface, a massive moisture pipeline is pumping tropical air straight from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and into Iowa. Dew points are hitting 70 degrees along the Gulf Coast and 60 degrees as far north as Omaha, Nebraska. That is July-level humidity in early March. Your brain should be screaming that is not normal because it is not. And that collision between tropical moisture and incoming Arctic air is the recipe for what is coming tonight. Now here is your timeline. If you are on the Great Plains, listen carefully, Texas. Starting this afternoon, storms will begin firing along the dry line from the Caprock region southward through the Sherman and Paris area. By this evening, expect clusters of severe thunderstorms moving into eastern Oklahoma. The peak danger window for North Texas is tonight between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. Central Time, especially west and north of Dallas-Fort Worth. Do not go to sleep without your weather alerts on. By tomorrow afternoon, the action shifts south of Interstate 20 into central Texas, then slides down toward Houston and San Antonio by tomorrow evening. Storms should clear most of Texas by Monday morning. Oklahoma. Severe storms will push into eastern Oklahoma during the evening hours tonight. Expect activity to intensify around the Bentonville and Springfield corridor, as well as Miami, Oklahoma. The overnight low-level jet will strengthen, which means storms could actually get worse after midnight. Peak danger is from 9 p.m. tonight through 4 a.m. Saturday. Oklahoma City should see the worst of it between 7 p.m. and midnight. Temperatures will drop into the 50s behind the cold front to Kansas. That low-level jet at 850 millibars is pushing 45 knots of moisture-laden air right through Kansas City. Storms will arrive in southern Kansas by late afternoon and push through the Kansas City metro area by tonight. The enhanced risk zone covers this entire region. Peak window is 6 p.m. to midnight. Expect damaging winds as the primary threat. Iowa. You are at the northern edge of the enhanced risk area. Storms will arrive in southwestern Iowa by late evening and track northeast through the night. Des Moines, your window is roughly 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Not as intense as areas to the south, but damaging winds are still very much on the table. Arkansas. Get ready for a stormy night. Heavy precipitation will slam into Arkansas overnight with the most intense activity in the Ozarks region. Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Little Rock. Your peak danger is midnight to 6 a.m. Saturday. Rainfall will be heavy and could cause localized flooding. Now do not skip ahead because at the 3-minute and 20-second mark, I am going to tell you about a part of this system that almost nobody is talking about yet, and it could affect the entire eastern half of the country by midweek. Let me give you the numbers that matter. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk for severe weather stretching from North Texas all the way into southwestern Iowa. That is their level 3 out of 5. Inside that zone, tornadoes are possible from the western Ozarks down into the Sherman and Paris area of Texas. Large hail will be centered on that enhanced risk zone, and damaging winds will be the most widespread threat, especially in the northern portions. For tomorrow, Saturday, the entire risk area shifts east and south. A slight risk, level 2 out of 5, extends from central Texas into northern Mississippi with a separate area over western Pennsylvania and western New York. Yes, Pennsylvania. I will get to that in a moment. Here is that information I promised about the eastern United States, and this is the part most people are going to miss. While everyone is focused on the plains, a separate frontal system is stretched from the Atlantic Ocean through Virginia into the southern Great Lakes. Tomorrow, Saturday, western Pennsylvania and western New York face a slight risk for severe weather, including a low-end tornado potential in the upper Ohio River Valley. Damaging wind will be the main concern, with some hail possible. The timing for that region is Saturday afternoon through Saturday evening. Now let me walk you through temperatures, because what is happening across the country right now is absolutely wild. If you looked only at the thermometer in Kentucky, Virginia, or West Virginia, you would swear it is summer. Highs in the 80s. The Ohio River Valley from Huntington to Charleston is seeing 80-degree readings in March. Meanwhile, Cleveland and Toledo will see overnight lows in the 60s. In March, that is 30 degrees above normal. But flip to the other side of the country. North Dakota is sitting in the teens, South Dakota in the 20s. Colorado Front Range cities are stuck in the 30s and 40s with an active winter storm warning dumping 4 to 10 inches of snow above 9,000 feet. Denver is picking up 2 to 4 inches through early evening. That is a 70-degree temperature difference across just a few hundred miles. Here is your city-by-city breakdown for the Northeast. Washington, D.C., 54 degrees today, rain moving in tomorrow. New York City, 43 today, warming into the 50s by Sunday. Boston, 34 today, warming into the 40s tomorrow. Eastern Maine, winter weather advisory, Saturday morning for mixed precipitation ending by 1 p.m. The entire region should see rain moving through tomorrow and clearing by Sunday. Southeast, you have been living in early summer. Fort Myers hit nearly 90 degrees today. 80-degree readings stretch across the entire region. Organized storms will move through from Arkansas and northern Louisiana into the southeastern states tomorrow and tomorrow night. But Florida, you are mostly in the clear. Not much reaches you even by Sunday. Overnight lows tonight stay in the 60s across the board. Tomorrow brings a mix of 70s and 80s with near 90 in parts of Florida. For the Southwest, here is a change. Temperatures are running about 10 degrees below normal. The Great Basin is in the 40s. The Rockies are in the 30s and 40s. Winter weather advisories remain in the Utah mountains. High wind warnings in the San Gabriel Mountains around Los Angeles until 3 p.m. Saturday, with northeast winds gusting to 55 miles per hour. All of southern Nevada, the Mojave Desert, and the Kingman area are under wind advisories today through tomorrow, with north winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Los Angeles itself will be 82 degrees tomorrow, but the wind will make it feel different. Pacific Northwest, cool conditions dominate. 40s across the board with 50s on the coast. Here is the shocker. Central Montana is under a high wind watch for Saturday and Sunday. West winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour. And in the higher elevations of the Montana Rockies, gusts could hit 100 miles per hour. Rain arrives today along the coast, more coming Sunday, with snow in the higher elevations of the Bitterroot Mountains. Now here is the wild card I promised you at the 5-minute mark. The models are showing a cut-off low-pressure system moving from Baja California into northern Mexico. And here is why this matters. Cut-off lows are notoriously difficult to predict. They break away from the main jet stream flow and do their own thing. The global forecast system model is probably not handling this well, which means surprise weather could develop across the southern tier of the country by early next week. This needs to be monitored closely Monday and Tuesday. Looking further ahead, more cold air is coming down into the Great Plains early next week. The 540 decameter line, that is the freezing rain and snow boundary, will push through Oregon into Wyoming and the northern plains. By midweek, another round of storms could fire from Texas into Arkansas. Then another Pacific system moves through the northern states late in the week, followed by yet another large system possible around the middle of the month. And do not forget, this Saturday night is when we spring forward. Set your clocks ahead 1 hour. You lose 60 minutes of sleep, so plan accordingly, especially if you are in a severe weather zone tonight. Losing that hour means storm alerts might hit when your body thinks it is 3 a.m., but your phone says 4 a.m. Here is what I need you to do right now. First, if you have not already, comment your city below and I will give you a personalized update. Second, make sure your weather alerts are turned on for your phone tonight, especially if you are anywhere from Texas to Iowa to Pennsylvania. Third, have a plan. Know where your safe room is. Keep shoes and a flashlight by your bed tonight. This is not about fear. This is about being ready. The people who watch forecasts like this are the ones who protect their families when it counts. Now here is what is coming in the next video. That Baja cutoff low, the midweek storm potential, and a surprising temperature pattern that could flip the entire country upside down by March 15th. You do not want to miss that breakdown. Subscribe and tap the bell so you are the first to know when it drops. Stay safe out there this weekend. I will see you in